Hi everyone, and welcome to my last video of the year. Happy New Year. I saved the best for last. Charleston is a very special place to me. Charleston is where I spent 9 years of my life as my children were growing up, 1992 to 2001. Since my kids were young, I mainly swam in a pool, maybe 3 times a week, total of 5 miles, had to squeeze it in around my young growing family. There was a woman they talked about named Kathleen Wilson. I never met her, never got to know her, but I did hear that she was going to be swimming the English Channel. Those of you who swam the English Channel know that the conditions have to be just right, and there are many attempts, and the weather usually is what stops things. So anyways, after I moved to Northern Virginia in July of 2001, I had a friend send me a news article. And it's funny, we moved from Northern Virginia to Tampa. We moved around, and I've thrown away a lot of stuff and gotten rid of, but for some reason I saved a newspaper article, so I want to share with you. And why I'm showing you this about Kathleen Wilson from August of 2001 is that she was the race director. She is the race director for the Swim Around Charleston. This year, the Swim Around Charleston had 21 solo swimmers, of which I was one, and it had a few teams. And so I just want to share with you, when anyone completes or even attempts the English Channel, it's pretty huge. It's very, very noteworthy. So very impressed. Very successful swim when she completed the English Channel. I love this photo. This is from the Post and Courier from 2001. And a picture of definitely what goes through your mind as you're preparing and getting ready. And the last picture, of course, well, we'll show you this one. Victory. So pretty awesome. So it was such an honor to meet Kathleen and to participate in this race event. One of the best race events that I've ever participated in. Another good one was Swim the Suck, and Kara Nazer was at swimming while I was swimming, and I complimented her on the great job that she does every year on Swim the Suck. So that's worth looking into. Swim the Suck in Chattanooga, Tennessee usually happens around October 8th weekend every year. And the Swim Around Charleston is dependent on the tides. And Kathleen, the race director, she's got everything figured out, if I may say so myself. You have to pick, well, you don't have to, but it's really smart to swim and pick an event where the conditions will be in your favor. Nobody wants to get in and swim against a current and you're 10 or 15 minutes and you're not moving. What I liked about this event, as far as the race, the management of it, was that there were many boats, safety boats. The boats needed to chase away speeding boat traffic. This took place on a Sunday, I believe. Saturday or Sunday, I think it was a Sunday. And there was boat traffic, and you really need safety when you're going to have swimmers out there. We start at Remley's Point in Mount Pleasant, and we cross the Cooper River, go under the Cooper River Bridge, Ravenel Bridge, and then you go around the peninsula, and then you head up the Ashley River, and you finish at a boat ramp near I-526. So there are 5 bridges that you will go under. It's 13.22 miles for the bag of goodies. So we had this big yellow bag, and we had some things inside of it, a really nice cap. We got the t-shirt you saw. The kayaker had to wear number 158, and I had to wear, this was the best thing ever in an event. You see this little thing, it looks like a little sticky label. Well, you can stick this in your suit, or I stuck mine under my cap, and you'll see in some pictures when I didn't even remember that I had it there, and then when I took my cap off, this came. This was the timing device. And you really can't see or feel anything, but it's hidden in there. It had my number on it. And this was excellent. So any race director, if you don't have to do the ankle thing and you can just stick this somewhere, this is way more comfortable. I really enjoyed this. Got a pen, Swim Calm, www.swimcalm.com. And I like this little business card holder. This goes in my purse. I have my book promotion information, my latest book with my information on back. So that goes inside my Swim Charleston business holder. All right, let's talk about training for this event. The training was good. It was probably, I've been thinking about doing this event for a year and a half, two years maybe. Knew I wasn't ready because it's required that you need to do a 30-minute pool mile. I cannot do that. I was at a 32-minute pool mile, so I decided to hire a coach. Unfortunately, I had an injury. I was busy, he was busy, so I only had 2 or 3 lessons, but they did help. I probably would have been better off if I had once a week and was able to do this for a longer period of time, but I took what I could get. I joined the Masters when I was 58, first time in my life. The Masters is practice, you have a coach, you do workouts, and they knew my goal was to increase my speed to a 30-minute pool mile. I was able to do that, but not hold it for 13 miles. So I would say I had a 31-minute pool mile. So I was very nervous. I expressed nervousness to the race director and to other friends. Should I drop out of this? I don't know if I'm going to be fast enough. I'm going to be pulled. So I had high anxiety going into this, knowing that I was very borderline, not a fast enough swimmer. I was not discouraged, but I had anxiety. And I was at the edge of my seat wondering, will I need to drop out? And the bottom line was, no, Lynn, you'll do fine. It's current assist part of the way. We time the tide so that most swimmers will be able to make the 6-hour cutoff. So very nervous, very nervous. What happened on race day was when I still was nervous, I showed up. When we got in the water, I pretty much swam as fast as I could for 4 miles. I was on edge. People took off ahead of me. And I was like, okay. And there was a boat trailing, I think, the slowest swimmer, which was me for a while. And I was angry. I felt like saying, go away, just leave me alone. But I was swimming very fast for 4 or 5 miles, so I wasn't really enjoying the race, the event. And then I just settled in, and my husband Bob kept saying, you're doing fine, you're making good time. And even in mile 5, going around the peninsula, I had a 15-minute mile, so that was great. And then going up the Ashley River, I just kept going and going and going, and I settled into a fast stroke. At mile 10, I passed 2 or 3 people. And I was like, wow, I'm keeping a good pace. And I actually, passed some people. So I felt good about that. And I finished it in 5 hours and 52 minutes. So I made the cutoff of 6 hours. I was happy about that. I felt strong the whole way. It worked out really well. We had a threat of lightning and thunderstorm, and I kept looking up at the sky. We had pouring rain and gray skies, very, very dark. And I thought, 9 or 10 miles in, please, this race can't be canceled. I have to finish this. And I finished it really strong, able to do more, not feeling sick, not having a stomach ache. I'm getting to the point where past 11 miles of swimming, I sometimes develop a stomach ache. So I have to figure out what my feeds should be, what my drinks and feeds should be. So I haven't really gotten that. I've only done maybe 10 swims of 11 miles or more, 8 to 10 swims so far. So I'm still learning what it takes for the longer distances. All in all, it was great. And I forgot to mention with my training, I was swimming 15 to 20 miles a week for quite a while. So I felt strong and I felt ready for it, but I was just very nervous about the speed. So I would recommend this event, but please be faster than me. I would be the slowest cutoff that should enter something like this. So if you are able to keep a 30-minute or definitely less than a 30-minute pool mile, then you definitely would qualify for entry for this. But I loved it because Charleston was my hometown, and it's one of my hometowns. I have 4 hometowns, and Charleston is one. Had a family vacation while we were there, had a really wonderful time creating memories, and just everything went well. And I want to wish you a happy new year, and to go with your goals. And a month after the race, my friends sent from the Post and Courier on October 25th, we had 25 years in open water, a nice article. Charleston's most famous swimmer, Kathleen Wilson, reflects on career. And that was nice. My friends were thinking of me and sent me that. I also wrote a letter to the editor that got printed, and I think that's important to bring awareness to the community for open water swimming. I commended the event, and I'm glad that they printed it, just a very short little blurb. And it's always great to try to write an article, have news coverage, maybe create a video. Because when I lived in Charleston and was swimming all those years in the pool, I never, ever thought about swimming in the open water. I didn't really think about that until we moved here. But especially after COVID, when the pools closed down, it was like, where am I going to swim? I don't want to be without swimming. So Charleston was my favorite event of the year because I overcame my anxiety. I built some confidence. I had a great year of swimming. I set a goal to swim 622 miles total, and this morning I reached 800. When I saw a certain number, and I just started setting a few more goals for November and December. I had one week where I swam 6 or 7 continuous days, mostly 6 miles each day, and I was able to do it without injury. And my attitude was good. Just one day I didn't really want to wake up and swim 6 miles. Most of that was in the pool. It was just more convenient for me to get it done there. And I ended up swimming 38 miles in 1 week. And I also was experimenting with different things I ate before I swam, and making sure to be very careful not to push it or strain myself. And I had no injuries, no shoulder problems. So whatever I was doing worked out well. I did a few other big goals this year. I swam 2 laps around Davis Island, and one I went the easy way with the current for part of the way, and the other I decided to turn around. So the 5.8 miles with the current took me a little over 3 hours, let's say 3 hours and 20 minutes. And then when I turned around and went back the other way, that took me 4 hours and 30 minutes. And it was hard. I must have been going around Tampa General Hospital at the worst possible moment. But I did that. I swam around St. Pete Beach in May. That was 12.7 miles. I was the first person to do that. I was so happy to complete and swim around Clearwater. And these videos are on this channel. You can look those up. And Clearwater was an excellent challenge. I also finished swimming all the way down the Pinellas County Coastline. I thought the coastline stretched from the north part of Honeymoon Island down to Pass-a-Grille or Shell Key, but I forgot about Fort DeSoto. So anyways, I had all of that done within about a year and a half, and then I'm like, I forgot Fort DeSoto. So I completed that in September, 39 miles total in 10 different segments. So that was exciting for me to complete this year. And I really enjoyed my swim around Lido Key. That was 7.5 miles. I was able to do that in 3 hours and 23 minutes. So what I like about some of my swims is to take a look at the conditions and then choose when to swim. But I like to choose a weekday. On a weekday, we could maybe avoid boat traffic. We can pick the conditions. Another attempt that was fun, but we didn't complete it due to a strong current pushing us out was the Tampa Bay Channel swim. And that was a fun attempt. Maybe someday I will complete that. We'll see. I love all of these swims. I think I'm going to rank Charleston as my #1 because it was run so well. I trained for it. I succeeded at it. I had a great time. And what I really, really appreciated was seeing some of my family members along the way and definitely at the end. I've never felt when I swim and finish that I have loved ones at the end, because I'm an independent swimmer and I get in and I swim some of these events, and you know, there's maybe some swim friends there, but they were like, wow, I can't believe you did this, congratulations. And I got out and I was so happy. And so the Swim Around Charleston was fantastic, and I recommend, if you like marathon swimming, to take a look at it. Happy New Year.
And boom, there it is, 5:54. Broke 6 hours.
Come on! Yeah! You literally have like 50 feet. Hurry up! Wait, let me get in.
I'm taking a video. Look at this welcoming crew we got here. Yeah. Lynn, turn around.
Are they squeezed in enough?
Yeah, I got everybody. Wait, Joey? Yeah, I got Joey too. Yep.